Good evening. Welcome to the Kent City Council meeting for September 6th, 2022. If you could all please rise and join me for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Kim, could you call the roll, please?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mayor Ralph.
Here.
Council President Boyce.
Here.
Councilmember Fincher.
Here.
Councilmember Kaur.
Here.
Councilmember Larmer.
Here.
Councilmember Michaud. Councilmember Thomas.
Here.
Councilmember Troutner.
Here.
Thank you.
All right. Before we move on to item number 3, I do want to highlight tonight we have kind of a theme of recognition. The first recognition is the new name tags that we have up here on the dais for both Pat Fitzpatrick and Tammy White.
You're here.
This is our first official meeting since Pat became our new City of Kent Chief Administrative Officer, and Tammy White came into the role of City Attorney. And then joining us in the back is Christina Shook, our new Deputy City Attorney. So some moving pieces. Really excited about the additions to these roles. Familiar faces, new positions, and could not be happier to have all of the new, everybody said yes. So we'll just, I came asking and everybody said yes. And it was a really, really good day and a great new chapter for the City of Kent. So thank you, all of you.
And it's hard to say no to you, Madam Mayor, so we all know that too, but it's all good.
All good things. All right. Next item is approval of the agenda. Any changes to the agenda this evening?
Madam Mayor, I do have one change, and that's to add item N under consent for an excused absence for Councilmember Michaud.
Right, thank you. If there are no other additions or changes, a motion would be in order to approve the agenda.
So move.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. The next item is public recognition. We have some few things on the agenda tonight. The first one is our September 2022 Employee of the Month. So this is always a great way to kick off each month, and that's with a recognition of our Employee of the Month. Employees at the city get together each month and nominate one of their coworkers for this honor, and it's really based on the way that they exemplify the city's mission, vision, values, and goals, as well as their day-to-day work or special projects. And so tonight, I'm really excited to announce that Tanya Reyes Selden is our September Employee of the Month. Tanya was hired on August 1st, 2019 as a civil paralegal. Her work is characterized by confidential and paraprofessional level duties in researching, writing, reviewing, and preparing information and documents as they relate to court cases, public records, and legal matters involving the City of Kent. Complex and specialized support duties such as organizing office activities, communicating with representatives in other departments, outside agencies, and the general public, preparing, processing, and maintaining legal documents, forms, correspondence, legal memoranda, and related files and records, and performing a variety of other paralegal duties. Tanya was nominated because she is dedicated, loyal, and she has an incredible sense of humor and laughs that bring that extra special vibe to the law office. Every law office needs an extra special vibe, so I think that that's really important. Her dedication and work ethic are exemplary. She is a true team player who gives so much of herself. She is also incredibly conscientious, and she always steps up when whether she's asked or not. She is often one of the first to volunteer for any task and genuinely cares for others. Tanya continuously embraces our values, and we celebrate her as September's Employee of the Month. Congratulations. I'm going to turn it over to Tammy.
Okay, and I make no promises that I'm not going to cry during this. I might read more than actually look at you, but it is a great honor that Tanya is our September Employee of the Month. She is a phenomenal paralegal in our office. She is one of those special employees that if you are lucky to have one of them in your lifetime here, you are blessed beyond measure. She's incredibly valuable to not only the civil division or to our department, but to the city as a whole. She is always positive, and I really don't think I've ever heard her say a negative thing about anything or anybody ever. She is an incredibly positive, amazing individual. Her work is also second to none. Seeing her in action makes me wonder how we survived without her for so long. She is always so cool under pressure and performs an immense amount of work in an incredibly short amount of time. Shortly after she joined our office in 2019, our other paralegal went out on long-term leave. Tanya had been with us for 2 months and then was on her own for about a 4 to 5 month span and did an amazing job. I don't know how she does it, but she makes it look so easy. She, again, now is the sole paralegal in our office, carrying the load since June and doing an amazing job while we've been down an attorney, had a crazy amount of workload on our plate, and yet she continues to show up to work with a constant smile on her face. We are truly blessed beyond measure. She has earned my complete trust that anything I may ask of her will be done quickly and correctly the first time, always. And she really has become a go-to person in our department for just about everything. She serves on, I want to say, at least 2 or 3 citywide committees, in addition to the amazing workload that she already is able to accomplish. She is truly the complete package. She is crazy smart and capable, but also has a heart the size of Texas. And so I am thankful each and every day that she chose Kent and the law department and came to us.
Oh,
All right.
Congratulations.
Tanya, I didn't ask before, so you have every right to say no. Do you want to come up and say a few words and introduce your family, or you can stay in your seat? How about you just tell us who's with you today?
So I have my family here. My husband Jason right behind me, and then my 2 kids, Alexis and my son Christian. And then I see some of my fellow law department colleagues, which I'm really excited to see here as well. But no, I'm feeling very honored, sorry, I didn't go up there, but just very honored and blessed for this award and to be a part of the city. Thank you.
nice recognition.
Thank you for everything you do every day. We're super grateful.
Yes.
All right, we are going to move on in the agenda. We have a proclamation this evening, and joining us to accept the proclamation is Kathleen Murphy from King County. I'm going to go ahead and read the proclamation, and Kathleen asked you to come up and say a few words. So the proclamation says, whereas behavioral health is an essential part of one's overall health and wellness, and whereas the COVID-19 pandemic has had and continues to have a profound effect on the mental health and substance use, with increasing numbers of people experiencing anxiety, depression, and loneliness. And whereas an estimated 575,000 people in King County are affected by these conditions, and whereas preventing and overcoming mental and substance use disorders is essential to achieving healthy lifestyles for individuals, families, and entire communities. And whereas we must encourage relatives, friends, and neighbors of people with mental and or substance use disorders to recognize the signs of the problem and guide those in need to appropriate treatment and recovery support services. And whereas prevention of mental health and substance use disorders works, treatment is effective, and recovery is possible. And whereas connection and community are critical components of our recovery in our local area and across the nation, now therefore I, Dana Ralph, Mayor of Kent, do hereby proclaim September 2022 to be National Recovery Month in Kent, Washington, and call upon our residents to observe this month with programs and activities to support National Recovery Month.
Thank you so very much. My name is Kathleen Murphy. I am the Behavioral Health Recovery Specialist with King County's Behavioral Health and Recovery Division. My role with the county is really to ensure that our system achieves a recovery orientation. Along with that, I provide staff support to county staff to ensure that we really are providing opportunities for individuals to reach their full potential in life. I also am an individual in recovery from mental health and substance use issues myself, and perhaps that's the identity that I wish to lead with here today. So on behalf of King County Behavioral Health and Recovery Division and individuals in recovery from mental health and substance use issues here in Kent, I really want to thank you for your leadership and for proclaiming September as National Recovery Month. Recovery Month provides us an opportunity to bring awareness to a thriving recovery community. We know that people are recovering from mental health and substance use issues every single day in every community. In fact, over 200 million Americans are in recovery. Recovery gives us an opportunity to recognize the compassionate and dedicated behavioral health professionals and community members who make recovery possible in all of its forms. By proclaiming September as National Recovery Month, you're helping end the stigma around behavioral health issues that leads so many individuals and families suffering in silence and isolation. Today, you're really helping to share the message that is Recovery Month's theme. Recovery is for everyone, every family, every person, every community. So I thank you, Mayor Ralph and honorable council members, for proclaiming September National Recovery Month in Kent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kathleen. We're going to pause for a quick photo break. We're going to do a quick photo with the proclamation, and then Tanya, if you want to bring the family up, we'll do a photo too.
Is that better?
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Madam Mayor, should Tammy should be in this picture? You can say the same thing? Yeah. Cute kids. That's a good one. All righty. Awesome.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your patience there. And Kathleen, I do want to follow up and say thank you for coming tonight to accept that proclamation and helping us recognize how important recovery is. As the proclamation said, recovery is what makes healthy communities, and we know that it's possible. So thank you so very much. Okay. All right. The next item on our agenda is appointments to the Kent Arts Commission. I have two appointments that I'm bringing forward today to council for your consideration under the consent calendar. We have Kathleen Spritzer and Sandra Pierce. They could not join us this evening, but really excited to bring them forward for appointment to the Arts Commission. As you all know, Arts Commission works with city staff for programming of public art in our public spaces, as well as our performing arts presentations throughout the year. You often hear Councilmember Fincher talk about the concert series and that kind of thing. So hopefully you looked at the information in the packet and the bios, and we'll be having a confirmation for those two appointments. The next item under public communications is some recognition. So you saw the video, the opening video there before we start the council meeting. That video and all of the videos you see on all of our social media, on TV 21, they're all produced by our multimedia team, and the vision and the artistic amazingness, I'm going to make up a word there, of Mr. Alex Klinger. He was just recently at the National Government Communications Conference, and the City of Kent, through Alex's leadership and our amazing team, won 7 first-place awards at the national competition. So you think back to our winter weather plan, which we put out to help people understand what our snow response is and that kind of thing. Diego's Field, the dedication of Diego's Field up at West Fenwick Park, Alpenhong, one of our Spotlight Series performances, National Night Out, Shop with a Cop, just our use of social media in general, and then the Videography Award for our Kent Police recruitment video. They all won first place awards at the national conference, and that is all Alex's vision. He's the guy that's always behind the camera. But tonight, I'm going to ask him to come up and be in front of the camera for just a minute. As Alex is, and I would be remiss in saying that we also took 4 second place awards and 2 third place awards. So Kent did an amazing job. I'm asking Alex, so there he is with the awards. Alex is leaving the city. Tonight is his last night.
Oh, man.
He and his family are moving to the other side of the country. And I didn't want to miss an opportunity to say thank you to you very publicly, Alex. You make all of us up here look really good. Being on the other side of the camera is never an easy task, and there is a way that you do your work that puts people at ease. And when it comes out, it always looks like we knew what we were doing, but it's because you know what you're doing. And I couldn't be more grateful for everything you have done to elevate the city of Kent and the professionalism that you have brought. And I'm offering you whatever. We had cookies today. That was not enough for you to unsell your house and stay. So if that didn't do it, I don't know what would. But I can't tell you how grateful I am for everything that you have done for the city of Kent, for all of us, and for me. So thank you for everything.
Thank you very much. And like Council President said earlier, I mean, it's hard to say no to you when you ask for anything for that matter. Because, of course, yes, I do not like to be in front of the camera. I'm a behind the camera type of person. But ultimately, for the awards and for my position, I want to say thank you to everybody. So I would not be able to do it without the trust of the city, without the trust of the leadership team, without the trust of my team, you know, with everybody, you know, hard at work. There's absolutely people that assist me in my job that makes it just so much easier and fun to work with. So I'm going to miss this team. I'm going to miss working for you. I'm going to miss working for the city of Kent. It's truly been a pleasure. But that being said, it's a pretty fun adventure moving across the country and starting anew, like with everything. So last thing I'll say is that, you know, I am truly grateful for what the city did. I will leave you with a story, and that it is kind of funny in the sense of I was basically recruited. For those that don't know, somebody called me like, "Bro, you need to apply," and I was like, "Work for government? No. I have no interest working for news and government by any means." Obviously, I was convinced to do it, and it was the best mistake I've ever made in my life. This has been a true honor, and I'm very, very sad to be leaving. And yeah, I'm very thankful. So, and once again, thank you for putting me in front of the camera. I will always hate you for it. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Alex.
Only a phone call away.
And we're hoping for some sort of like video blog as you're traveling across the country, at least some updates on how things are going.
I bought a new drone. I bought a new camera. It's going to be some fun traveling across the country. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sad day, like I said, lots of recognition, but for positive things. But 7 first place awards for the city of Kent this year, and that's across the country. So, like I said, the professionalism that Alex and our whole multimedia team bring has been incredible. So, thank you, Alex. All right, we are going to move on to reports. Oh, sorry, community events. Look at, I'm skipping. It's always good to have friends. I appreciate that very much. Council President Boyce, community events.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Mayor. A couple of things going on at Showware, Accessory Showware Center, I should say. So we had a Christmas cantata on September 29th. The Seattle Thunderbird opened their season up on October 1st. And we got the Bruner Board on October 8th. Jubin, blah, 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 live in concert. October 9th, the Lamb of God Omen on Monday, October 10th. Then we got the Seattle Thunderbird back on October 11th and October 14th. Disney on Ice. Oh boy, my grandkids gonna love this. This October 26th through the 30th. Tickets on sale already. And Tacoma Star opener on Saturday, December 10th. So lots of stuff going on at Accessory Showware Center. That's what I have, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Fincher.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Team Up to Clean Up is coming up. That's going to be on the 17th, which is Saturday after this coming. It's a time that we can help beautify Kent by cleaning up, by picking up the trash. There's going to be a site on East Hill, West Hill, and downtown. So go to the Kent website. You can see it on the calendar. Anyway, sign up. We want to register so we know how many people to expect, so you know that you will be able to have your gloves, your vest, your litter picker-uppers, all of the things that you're going to need. And also, I hear there may be a bit of graffiti painting going out that day. And then one activity that was going to take place that we're trying to get the word out for, Catapult Dance Company will not be performing, so their tour has been canceled. That was going to be in October, the kickoff for our Spotlight series. So if you've already bought your tickets, you can contact the Commons and get your refund, but they will not be performing. But there are lots of great performances after that that will be taking place. So check out the website, kentwa.gov/arts, and you can get everything that you need to know about it there. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Okay, now we will move on to reports. Every one of our council members spend time working on committees outside of the normal council meetings. So regional committees, making sure that the City of Kent's voice is represented in that decision-making process. So whether it be around policy or funding, without those voices, a lot of times I think South County tends to get forgotten. So I am grateful for the work that all of the council members do outside of these scheduled Tuesday meetings. I'm going to start really quickly before I turn it over to, or officially I don't have to say interim city attorney Pat Fitzpatrick anymore, because that's gets to be a little bit of a tongue twister, but I'm going to start with a couple of updates. Last week, Chad Barron, our Public Works Director, and I had an opportunity to go up to the Howard Hansen Dam, which serves multiple purposes for the City of Kent: flood control as an additional water supply, and it's also a really important place for salmon here in our area. And Congresswoman Kim Schreier and Senator Patty Murray were up there announcing the kickoff funding for the fish passage. So the dam makes it very complicated for salmon to make it to where they need to go, and through the infrastructure bill, there is a significant amount of money coming to Howard Hansen to finally build that fish passage. It has been many, many, many years in the making, and a fabulous project. We are grateful to see that funding. It's the beginning. It's a very expensive project, but it is the beginning, and we are grateful for that. So nice to have the opportunity to celebrate that. Last week, I also got a chance to go down and visit SCAC. So SCAC is an organization here in Kent that works on employment for individuals with disabilities. One of the things that we talk about quite often is diversity and equity in employment, and sometimes our residents that are living with disabilities get left out of that conversation. And I don't think we can be in a truly inclusive community unless we are including everyone. I am very proud to say here at the City of Kent, we have several supported employees that are working in a variety of departments: Public Works, Police Department, and Economic Planning and Community Development, looking to continue to grow that program. And then SCAC also employs people there at their facility. They do things like when you buy a package of washers and there's 10 washers in the package, they count out the washers and then put the label on it. So variety of different packaging things. I feel like we are really blessed to have SCAC as a part of our community, and it was wonderful to get down and talk to some of the employees and just really celebrate the work that they're doing. Two more items. 2 weeks ago, the chief and I had an opportunity to travel to Tucson, Arizona with a delegation from South King County. Mayor and Chief from Auburn, Representative Tina Orwell, the Executive Director of ValleyCom, among them, to look at the Crisis Receiving Center in Tucson. So this Crisis Receiving Center that we were able to tour is a no wrong door place for people experiencing mental health crisis. If you think about when someone's in crisis and we don't know what to do, what's the right place to help, to get help. So a lot of times it falls on a 911 call. A Well, that's not necessarily the right resource, right? Fire or police response is not what a lot of times that person needs, but this crisis receiving center is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's a stabilization center, and then they develop plans for people to connect them with providers outside of the facility. If they're in need of inpatient treatment, refer them to the inpatient treatment. It was a very, very impressive piece of the mental health system that I believe we very much need here in South King County. We also had a chance to visit the Tucson's version of Valleycom of the 911 call center. And in that call center, they have crisis call receivers right there sitting next to the emergency call receivers. So now if someone in crisis calls 911, there's a bit of a disconnect. The only tools they really have is to send a police officer or a firefighter. In Tucson, the model is the 911 operator takes that call, and when they recognize that that person really needs behavioral health supports, they can do a warm handoff. So all of the information that's already been taken is on the screen, gets passed off to the crisis responder, and that person can take as much time as they need to help the person in crisis stabilize. They've got a mobile crisis unit that they can send out. It's working really, really well, and I am excited to see what kind of opportunities we have here in South King County. Representative Orwell is doing some great work around the area of behavioral health and substance abuse, and really, like I said, looking forward to the upcoming legislative session and funding that in partnership with King County here for our residents that are experiencing and families that are experiencing mental health crisis. In that same line, Council wanted to let you know that there will be a budget request coming forward through our budget process for our court. As we know, many of the defendants in our court are in need of mental health treatment or substance abuse treatment and don't have the funding to access it. Some of the ordinances that you will be considering tonight under the consent calendar is that bridge, right? Someone that's dealing with a substance abuse disorder, getting into the court system, and then the next step is to get them into treatment, connect them with services, and this funding request will be money for our court to continue that work that you all heard Judge Franz talk about a couple of weeks ago. So excited to have some opportunity to provide those resources and really fill the gap, especially for our lowest income residents who have found their way into the legal system but don't have access to those resources. So again, it's building out the whole system, building out that continuum so that folks get the resources they need to then end up in where the proclamation we had earlier brings people into recovery and that sustainable, happy, fulfilling life. So excited about those opportunities that we've got coming. With that, I am going to look all the way to my right to our Chief Administrative Officer, Pat Fitzpatrick.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just real quick, budget preparations continue. You all should have received notice and an invite to the October 5th budget retreat at the Green River Community College. Second is we do have an executive session tonight. It should take only about 10 minutes. It's to discuss current litigation. Other than that, my report is in the agenda packet, and that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Council President.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. During our Operation Public Safety meeting today, we had a couple of grants. One of the grants around part-time help for case management and social worker that was given by Margaret, and is really used for treatment, and also they have a process to monitor treatment as we go. The funding will be in place until June 23rd. We also had another grant regarding reimbursement to the city, and this is around simple possession, and this is related to the State versus Blake. In addition to that, we purchased some Anaconda network for our police officers, and then for ECDC to really help with communication when they're out and about, out in the area. And we also looked at our financial report is looking pretty good. We're pretty much on track. We're ahead of schedule for on our financial report. And then also we have an extension of our contract for our police officer with Exxon on the camera. So that all went well today. And then as far as the workshop, great workshop today, a lot of great presentation. We also, Human Service Funding Allocation, Marina Hanson did a wonderful job, just talked about the process they went through for letting people know about the funding. They had a workshop also that I thought was really nice to really help people just with the application process. This information is also on their website, so please feel free to go and take a look at the website to get more information. Then also, I just want to point out real quick here just where this funding went. If I can find it real quick here. Yeah, some of the allocations for the funding was early learning, youth, healthy aging, safe, welcome, and access, basic need, economic, legal, financial, and then physical and mental well-being. Had a total of 59 application, 48 was returned, 11 was new, and then I think a total of 14 was for BIPOC, and it was about $1.4 million. So, really great things going on in the city for being able to help those who need additional help. And then last but not least, we talked about the Federal Way link extension. Everything is seen to be going well, making great progress. Right now we're still shooting for 2024. That may change, but that's kind of where we're at now until something officially come out. And then the last one around the sewer and storm. I mean, I really, believe it or not, I like this report because sometimes we just take things for granted. You just don't know what goes behind the scene. But I can tell you people here who live in the city, our team is doing an excellent job of making sure the pipe is clean. So just want to pass that on. And our South City Association, I am the chair, but we took the month of August off, and then we'll start a meeting September 14th, a week from tomorrow. And that's all I have. I'm going to start to my far left with Councilmember Core.
Thank you, Council President. I serve as the chair for Puget Sound Clean Air Agency Advisory Council, also serve as the caucus chair for Growth Management Planning Council and Domestic Violence Regional Task Force. We did not meet in the last month. I also sit on Multi-Care South King County Regional Board, and I just have an update for the community that the Covington Birth Center is closing on September 28th due to low demand. And then I just have an update for my colleagues on Washington State Building Code Council. They're proposing changes to residential energy codes, and public hearing is open now through October 14th. You can do that written. They also have hybrid options for you to voice your opinions, and that is my update. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Core. That's Councilmember Lammer.
Thank you. I serve on the King County Affordable Housing Committee, as well as the Advisory Council for Aging and Disability Services, and I have had no meetings since our last meeting.
Hey, Councilmember Troutner.
Thank you, Council President. I am chair of the Economic and Community Development Committee. We have our next meeting on Monday, and I am also chair of the Regional Transit Committee. I'm vice chair of that committee along with Councilmember Dave Upthegrove from King County. We do not meet until September 21st. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. President. I serve on the Puget Sound Regional Fire Authority along with their Council President, Mr. Boyce, and also Councilmember Troutner. I really have nothing to report except we have a meeting tomorrow night at 5:30 up at Station 78 in Covington. And just to let you know, there is another meeting on September 21st this month, same time, same place.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Fincher.
Thank you, Council President. I serve on King Conservation District. We have not had a meeting since our last meeting, but that is not going to stop me from talking.
Don't shock us, okay?
I won't. So just so that everybody knows, kingcd.org is the website for King Conservation District, and there are lots of free services that you can avail yourself to. So everything from soil testing to learning how to keep your property or your home free from or at least protect it against wildfires and other forms of fire safety. There's beautifying and how to care for your landscaping at home. If you have horses, there are classes for that. There is a big variety of classes on community gardening, on keeping the water clean, riparian waterways. There's just a plethora of classes and information that is offered. There are videos. Maybe you're a beekeeper. Lots of good information there. The other committee that I serve on is MID, Mental Illness and Drug Dependency Advisory Council. We will not be meeting until the 29th, but with this being National Recovery Month, one thing that the mayor said that is really important is no wrong doors. So with the blending of physical health and behavioral health, instead of having somebody have to wait 6 to 8 weeks to get help, with me, I'm a person who needs to exercise more. I may decide to go to the gym, but if I have to pass Joanne's and Fred Meyer and other things, something else is going to catch my interest. So it's important when somebody needs help that we get them help when they are ready to receive it, because 2 days from now, that situation could change. And so I really appreciate you mentioning that, Mayor, and looking at what we can do here, both for our adults and our youth, is just paramount. And with that, I would like to thank some of the organizations that we have right here in Kent who are doing important work, like Kent Youth and Family Services and CMAR and Valley Cities and Peer Kent and Birds Flying Free Art Therapy. There's a lot of different forms of therapy, more than just talk therapy. So in Kent, we have different forms of therapy. Just ask us and you can be directed to what will help you. We also have the Arts Commission. Arts Commission, again, I will reiterate that we have our first concert. The Catapult Dance Company will not be appearing this season, so we have a lot of other great shows, Spotlight Series, get your tickets for that. And with Public Works, if you've noticed that tower up on West Hill, it is fully wrapped in plastic and painting is going up under there. So if you're wondering what that plastic is, it's to help keep it free from, the wind will blow and paint would blow over on, the green will be on where it should have been yellow. So it helps protect it from that, help cut down that wind. And we had some great reports. You heard about some of the things that is going on in Public Works. We know that, again, nothing but rain down the drain, and we know that wipes, no matter what they say on the package, are not really flushable. We saw examples of what they really do to our system. So that is my report for this evening.
Plethora.
Thank you, Brendan. Thank you. Hey, I just want to reiterate one thing, Madam Mayor. You probably know this, but I remember a real good friend of mine has always stated, a successful leader always hire people smarter than them. And I just want to congratulate you on your 2 new hires only in there. So I'm really happy to have especially Tammy and also Pat as well, too. So great addition to the leadership team. So congratulations to you both. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. Yes, I again am really excited about the fact that they both said yes and are going to be serving in these new roles, because it is very important to have really smart people on the team. So, thank you both. All right, as you can see, even in the month of August, when most regional meetings are canceled, your city council is hard at work making sure that Kent's voice is being heard and represented. So thank you, council, very much. Item number 6 on our agenda is a public hearing. We do not have one. Item number 7 is public comment. It's opportunity for the public to come and address the council and talk about anything that's on your mind that relates to city business. I am smiling and looking out to the audience because we have a scout with us today. And I am going to ask if you would like to come up, state your name and city of residence for the record, and could you tell us why you're here today?
Come up
Now,
here.
if you come all the way up to the podium.
Hi, my name is Evelyn Rudolph. I am from Troop 8455. We meet at the Renton Community Methodist Church, and I am working on my Citizen Community Merit Badge. So the requirement is for me to come to a City Hall meeting and to discuss a issue going on in the community right now. And one of the biggest ones is the school district being on strike. And so I just want to know a little bit about how that's affecting you guys and what's your role or the impact that is creating on the council.
right, well, thank you for coming up and being brave enough to come up to the podium and ask that question. I can answer it very, very briefly. So the City of Kent and the Kent School District are two separate entities. So while I am the mayor and this is the council of the City of Kent, there is a superintendent and a school board that oversees the school district. And so that's who's in negotiations with our teachers. I can tell you it does impact everyone up here because it impacts the community. So there are parents up here with students who should have gone back to school by now. There are grandparents up here with students and people that, we have employees here at the City of Kent that had all of those things built into their schedule, and that has changed. So while there is nothing but great respect for that negotiating process, that's how employees and employers, their relationship is built on those negotiations. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn to say that every single one of us up here would strongly encourage the teachers union and the school district to continue to negotiate and come to a resolution as soon as possible because it is having a significant impact on our community. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So. Fabulous question.
Thank you so much.
Do you want to introduce who's with you tonight?
This is my mom, Stephanie Rudolph. She is the Scoutmaster of our troop, and another troop member, Eddie Walsh.
Okay.
Eddie, do you want to come up and introduce yourself?
Working ahead for your badge.
Hi, hi. My name's Eddie Walsh. I'm from Troop 455. I actually live in Renton, not Kent. But yeah.
Perfect.
Well, thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you both so very much. All right. Kim, do we have anyone signed up for public comment?
We do not.
All right. Thank you to our scouts for coming tonight. We very much appreciate it. All right. Item number 8 on the agenda is our consent calendar. We did add an item N for the excused absence for Councilmember Michaud. The consent calendar is a compilation of work that the City Council has done at their committee meetings throughout the past several weeks. They've received presentations, had an opportunity to ask questions, and have discussion around these items, and they have passed out of committee without any controversy. Council President, is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Yes, Madam Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar item A through N.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries 6-0. Before we go on to other business, I would like to just take a moment to say thank you to this council for the action that you took this evening regarding several public safety ordinances. So presentation was several weeks ago. There are 3 of them on this consent calendar. The first one is around spray paint and restricting access to those under 18 to spray paint, and then also making it harder for spray paint to be stolen from stores, whether it be behind the counter in a locked case. I don't have to point out that graffiti is a problem in our community and in communities all around the country. It's something that is extremely costly and unsightly and all of those things. And this ordinance that the council passed tonight will be one actionable step towards helping that problem. The next item is solicitation of occupied vehicles, and that is, so we've all seen people standing on a variety of corners, holding up signs, and the problem that we've been seeing now is the boldness of folks walking out into traffic. Not only is it dangerous for them, but it is dangerous for drivers. When someone surprises you when you're in your car, very much afraid that we are going to see a pretty significant injury or fatality as a result of that. People standing in medians, that kind of thing. Up to this point, there hasn't been an actual tool for our police officers to use. People are allowed to stand on the corner as long as they're not aggressive for anything. It's the entering into traffic that is the problem. So this ordinance tonight will address that. And finally, the ordinance that I think is the most important. And we are the first city in the state of Washington to pass this ordinance, and it's an ordinance around the unlawful use of dangerous drugs in public. So the state of Washington, through a court decision and then legislative action, lowered the penalty for possession of things like heroin, methamphetamine, fentanyl. and has made the process extremely difficult for our officers to arrest anyone. It used to be a felony, now it's a misdemeanor. There's multiple actions that have to take place. With this, we have seen a significant increase in people using these very, very dangerous drugs openly in public. And that then results in things like needles in parks. We saw the story about the toddler in Tacoma that found the fentanyl pill. The mechanism to get folks into treatment, and again, sticking with that theme tonight, we talked about Recovery Month. One of the ways that people get connected with services is often through our court system. If we can't get them to the court system, we can't get them the help that they need. This ordinance will allow our officers, if they come up on someone that is using drugs in public, way to talk about it, it's not legal to drink a beer while you're walking down the street. It's not legal to use marijuana while you're walking down the street. Up until tonight, it was not legal to inject heroin standing on the corner. What we permit in our community is what we promote. That is a quote from our chief, and it's very, very true, right? We need to set a better example, and we need to help people get the resources that they need, and we need to keep our community safe, because with the increase in substance use, we also know that there's related crimes to help support that addiction. So this ordinance is a huge step for the city of Kent in being able to intervene. I get phone calls, and I know council does as well, all the time. There's somebody standing in my parking lot using drugs. And up until this, we had to say, I'm sorry. There's not a lot we can do. So thank you, council, for your action in passing this ordinance tonight. And I think that all three of these combined are a really important step in allowing us to keep our community that much safer. So thank you.
Question for law, if I might.
Councilmember Thomas.
Thank you, Mayor. Pat or Tammy, when does this go into effect? 30 days after?
It'll be 30 days after passage today, so October 5th?
6th.
Oh, except for the paint, yeah. So, all three ordinances will be effective in 30 days from today. The paint ordinance will not be enforced until 180 days from today.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. With that, we will move on to item number 9, other business. We do not have any this evening. 10 is bids, and we do not have any bids either. We're kind of working our way out of construction season, even though it is going to be 91 degrees on Saturday. Not very much looking forward to a 91 degrees on Saturday, but summer's winding down, so a lot of those big projects are winding down as well. With that brings us down to our executive session. Council will be discussing current litigation per RCW 42.30.110. This is a closed session of council where they will be hearing from our law department on some current litigation. There will not be any action after the executive session. So with that, if I could ask everyone to clear council chambers, and we will go into executive session. Pat, approximately how long do you think will be? 10 minutes. All right. For 10 minutes, council will be in executive session. Thank you all for coming tonight.
Thank you.
right, welcome back. The City Council has just come out of executive session regarding litigation. We do not have any additional items on the agenda for this evening, so that brings us to the end of the meeting. One tiny bit of personal privilege. On Saturday, my oldest son is getting married to the love of his life, and I just want to say very publicly congratulations to Kyle and Casey on your upcoming day, and it is going to be 91 degrees. So everyone, wish us luck for the outside wedding. With that, like I said, we've come to the end of the meeting. Thank you all very much, and we are adjourned.